Chapter 91. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The village needs the puppets you made, so you should contribute them and the secrets of the puppets to the village. Okay, Koharu. The third Hokage, who couldn't listen any more, interrupted her. There's no point in getting angry. If the puppets made by Shizuka are really the same as what Orochimaru said, then we must control these puppets. How do we control them? Koharu Udatane said angrily. Tsunade will definitely not support us, and Hyuga Shizuka has chosen to refuse to hand over the puppets. If the puppets are in your hands, you can control the core secrets of these puppets, otherwise it's useless to say anything. At most you can just take the puppets and use them. Compared to using puppets, the third Hokage and others must want to master the secrets of puppets themselves. Only in this way can the village continuously make puppets by itself, instead of relying on Jinyi. As for the others, the F4 group never thought about it. Since Hyuga Jinyi can make such puppets, he must have the core secrets. As long as we get the core secrets, we can also make the same puppets. I will find a way. He exhaled heavily, and a lot of smoke filled the Hokage's office. It is definitely not possible to find Tsunade. If Jinyi directly contributes the puppets and the core secrets of the puppets, and is rejected, then we can only take other ways. For example, the Hyuga clan. That night, the third Hokage came to the Hyuga clan again because of Jinyi. The last time he came here, it was to sound the alarm for the Hyuga clan, and this time, he came here to get the puppets and the core secrets of the puppets with the help of the Hyuga clan. Other third-generation Hokages didn't dare to guarantee it, but he believed that if the people of the Hyuga main family came forward, Jinyi would obediently hand over what he wanted even if he was unwilling. After all, the fate of the branch family was in the hands of the main family. As for whether it would offend Tsunade and cause Tsunade to make a big fuss, the third-generation Hokage no longer cared. The value of the puppet was too great, so great that even if it offended Tsunade, the third-generation Hokage had to control it. No one knew what the third-generation Hokage talked about with the Hyuga clan leader, or what benefits he promised. The Hyuga clan sent a team the next day, followed by reinforcements, and rushed to the frontline camp together, and in the team sent by the Hyuga clan, there was a member of the main family. The main family came forward to put pressure on Jinyi. If Jinyi was still stubborn, then they could only use the caged bird curse seal. As for the Hyuga clan, the third-generation Hokage promised them a lot of benefits. Knowing that Jinyi controls a special puppet, even the village leaders are tempted. It would be a lie to say that the Hyuga clan is not tempted, but they are unwilling to offend the third Hokage and the entire F4 group for this. Once the F4 group joins forces to target them, the Hyuga clan will have a hard time. Just look at the Uchiha clan and you will know that the methods used on the Uchiha clan can also be used on the Hyuga clan. So the Hyuga clan leader agreed to the third Hokage's invitation for cooperation. Tsunade and Jinyi were unaware of this. Although Tsunade became the head of the Umbu, it was difficult for the Umbu to fully control everything before it was reorganized, and the third Hokage went to the Hyuga clan alone without bringing anyone, even the Umbu people. Doing so was also to prevent the Umbu ninjas from reporting to Tsunade. The third Hokage had made all preparations. When the Hyuga clan succeeded, he would offer some benefits to appease Tsunade. He believed that no matter how angry Tsunade was, she would not make too much trouble during the war. 2 days later, the reinforcements arrived at the camp. After the reinforcements arrived at the camp, the Hyuga clan team quickly left the team and headed towards the medical room. In the exclusive lounge of the medical room, Jinyi was holding a book that he had brought from Orochimaru and reading it with relish. Squeak! The door of the lounge was pushed open, and several figures stood at the door. Jinyi raised his head subconsciously. Good guy. This is coming for him. Just by looking at the other party, Jinyi knew that the other party was coming for him. A team of the family, led by the main family. The people of the main family appeared on the battlefield, definitely not for war. On the contrary, they had to hide. Since they were not here for war, the result was already obvious. Hyuga Shinsha walked into the lounge expressionlessly, and the team members of the branch family that he followed in and closed the door. It is easier to do things after closing the door. Hinata Jinyi, why don't you stand up and salute? Hinata Shinsha walked into the lounge with a haughty look, but saw Jinyi motionless, not even showing any intention of standing up, and immediately became angry. People from the branch family should take the initiative to greet people from the main family when they meet them. This is the family rule. Are you a fool? Sorry, I don't have this habit. Jinyi looked at him playfully, as if looking at a fool. You are a member of the branch family, how dare you look at me with such eyes? Hinata Shingshir was a little confused. When he came to his senses, his pale face turned blue and purple with anger. This kid must be taught a lesson. Hinata Shingshir, who was used to being high and mighty, met such a rude and bold member of the branch family for the first time, which made him feel embarrassed. So he decided to give Jinyi a little pain first, and then complete the task assigned by the clan leader. After Jinyi behaved himself, the main family used the caged bird curse to restrain the branch family, and the people in the main family knew how to use the caged bird curse to control the people in the branch family. Kneel down. That when Hyuga Shingshir wanted to activate the caged bird curse to give Jinyi a little pain, he suddenly heard the word kneel down. He felt his body stiffen just after he raised his hand. The same was true for the people in the branch family team. The invisible pressure enveloped the entire lounge, as if a big hand was pinching them tightly. Hyuga Shingshir and others felt that their bodies could not move, and their eyes were wide open, as if they had seen some terrible monster. Plop. As the pressure increased, Hyuga Shingshir and the guards of the team all knelt on the ground. The slender fingers covered Hyuga Shingshir's neck, and Hyuga Shingshir was lifted up by the neck, pinching the other person's neck and lifting him up high, Jinyi said with a half-smile. Sure enough, the people of the Zone family are used to being lazy. A waste like you can only live a stable life under the skin of the Zone family. The weather changes too fast, and the weak chicken Qianqian caught a cold again. I had a splitting headache in the afternoon and fell asleep after taking medicine, which led to the update now. Sorry, my dears. Chapter 92. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two of them were so angry that they had to fight. You, what do you want to do? You'd better let me go, otherwise, Hyuga Shingshir wanted to struggle, but unfortunately his body didn't obey. Jinyi used force on his fingers and interrupted the opponent's spell with physical attack. Waste. The word waste exploded in Hyuga Shingshir's mind like thunder. Hyuga Shingshir's white pupils shrank violently several times, and the whole person was hanging in Jinyi's hand like a puppet. Jinyi, let Shingshir go, let him go quickly. The several branch family members who were responsible for protecting Hyuga Shingshir never dreamed that things would turn out like this. They didn't know what Jinyi had done to make them feel like they were encountering a flood and a beast, and they were so scared that their bodies couldn't obey their commands. What was even more terrible was that Jinyi pinched Hyuga Shingshir's neck, as if he wanted to strangle him to death. People from the branch family wanted to strangle people from the main family. Is this possible? In the past, they would definitely think that they were joking, but now they couldn't laugh. Could it be that Hyuga Shingshir didn't even know the spell of the bird in the cage? Ignoring these people from the branch family, Jinyi put Hyuga Shingshir down casually, and the other party knelt on the ground again. When Hyuga Shingshir knelt down, Jinyi's hand directly pressed on his head, and a blue spirit ball sank into Hyuga Shingshir's body through his palm. Who asked you to come? It was the clan leader. Hyuga Shingshir was like a puppet being pulled by strings, answering Jinyi's questions stupidly. The clan leader. Hinata Shingshir spoke very slowly, and his speech was intermittent. Jinyi frowned when he heard it. Forget it, I'll see for myself. It might be a little painful. Please bear with me. The blue light enveloped Hinata Shingshir, and Hinata Shingshir began to twitch. Jinyi closed his eyes, and scenes flashed through his mind. The clan leader summoned him and issued a special top-secret mission. The mission content was to force Hinata Jinyi to hand over the puppet and the core secrets of making the puppet. After getting these things, he would teach him a lesson and copy the core secrets of the puppet. The scene flashed quickly, and came to the other party entering the camp, and then quietly approached the medical room. In other words, these guys were sneaky and did not attract the attention of others. Maybe I should collect some interest first. Thinking of the treatment he had suffered in the family in the past, Jinyi suddenly smiled, slowly raised his right hand, and placed it on Hinata Shingshir's head again, and pressed the other party's head with his slender fingers. Bending down, he whispered in Hyuga Seishi's ear, remember to be more restrained in your next life. Puff. Blue chakra sank into Hyuga Seishi's brain. Hyuga Seishi, whose brain was violently impacted, groaned and fell softly to the ground. It's your turn. Jing turned around and looked at the guards of the branch family with cold eyes. Although he hated the people of the Hyuga clan, at least he didn't think of actively looking for trouble. Who would have thought that the old man Hyuga Tennin would start to collude with the third Hokage and actively look for trouble with him? Not only did he look for trouble, but he also wanted to teach himself a little lesson and leave a deep memory. Well, I can only do it reluctantly and leave a deep memory for you. The death of a member of the main family should hurt the old guy Hyuga Tennin, Hatue. He doesn't have the courage that a strong man should have, and he has the nerve to call himself Hyuga Tennin. He doesn't even care about his face. If the successive generations of Hyuga Tennin knew that you were such a coward, the coffin lid would definitely not be able to hold down, kill people and collect corpses. Jingyi had no intention of destroying the corpse, but just threw the corpse into the sealing scroll, then cleaned up the traces of the arrival of these people, and then continued to sit on the chair with his legs crossed and read leisurely. It was as if the family members had never appeared. At the command center, after arranging the reinforcements, Nara Shikako suddenly remembered that there seemed to be a team of Hyuga clan in the reinforcements, and this team disappeared after entering the camp. He was busy at the time and didn't care about these things. Now that things were handled, he remembered this. Nara Shikako was worried about something happening, so he hurried to the medical room. However, Jingyi was reading a book with his legs crossed as if nothing had happened. "Senior, are you looking for me?" Jingyi put down the book, stood up and stretched. "Isn't it for Jingyi?" Nara Shikako was a little confused and asked tentatively, "Jingyi, someone came to see you just now." "You?" Jingyi pretended to be confused. "Does the little nurse in the medical room count? The pretty one?" "She's so damn pretty, I'm worried that you'll get in trouble." Nara Shikashin raised his right hand and stroked his thumb in front of his lips. "Don't stare at the medical staff if you have nothing to do. Be careful that Tsunade-ji will get you in trouble." "Understood." Jingyi smiled and nodded. "Then you should have a good rest. There are still many things waiting for me to deal with at the command center." Back at the headquarters, Nara Shikako patted his forehead. "What the hell is this?" The third Hokage messed around, and Shizuka followed suit. Nara Shikako was caught in the middle and was neither a human nor a human. "Forget it, I have never seen anyone from the Hyuga clan. Since I have never seen them, why bother to care whether they are missing or gone? The headquarters has enough things to do, and I don't have the energy to worry about these things." "Don't ask, I don't know if you ask." So this matter was kept secret. Shizuka and Nara Shikako were like nothing happened, doing what they had to do. In this way, a few days passed in a flash. The people sent out did not respond at all, and the third Hokage was a little impatient, and immediately asked the intelligence department to contact Nara Shikako. When the news was sent to the camp, Nara Shikashin was numb. "I knew it would be like this." Unfortunately, Nara Shikashin had no chance to get off Tsunade's pirate ship, so he could only bite the bullet and go to the end. The third Hokage was still very cunning, and went to Nara Shikashin under the banner of caring about the Hyuga clan. Nara Shikashin could only report truthfully. "What Hyuga clan?" "Never seen it. No matter who asked me, I would say this, never seen it." So when the news was sent back to Konoha and handed over to the third Hokage was dumbfounded. "Never seen it?" He felt that the matter seemed a bit serious. If only a few people from the branch family disappeared, the Hyuga clan would not say anything, but the people from the main family were gone. "Investigate. We must investigate thoroughly. Other people can disappear or die, but not the Hyuga clan, not to mention that they went to the frontline camp with a shameful mission. Now that the person is gone, and we don't know whether he is dead or alive, the third Hokage must give an explanation to the Hyuga clan. If he is alive, we must see the person, and if he is dead, we must see the body." The third Hokage subconsciously sent the Umbu people to the camp to investigate the matter, but he forgot that the Umbu now is no longer the Umbu of the past. Chapter 93. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The two sides have been in a state of chaos. Even though Tsunade has not been in charge of the Umbu for long, even though it is not appropriate to reorganize the Umbu during the war, Tsunade's promotion to the position of Umbu minister has added some regulations. For example, the Umbu needs to report to her as the minister when performing important tasks, even if the tasks come from the Hokage's office. So the Umbu people came to Tsunade in a circle, after understanding the cause of the task. Tsunade said decisively, Refuse to perform this task. During the war, every team of the Umbu has an important task. The people of the Hyuga clan are missing, so let them check it themselves. This. The Hokage asked them to go out immediately and perform the task. The minister told them to refuse the mission and let the Hyuga clan investigate on their own. The Umbu team, which was ready to set off, became confused for a while. They didn't know who to listen to. I am the minister of the Umbu. If anyone dares to disobey orders and leave the village without permission, I will kick him out of the Umbu. Tsunade slammed the table hard, scaring the Umbu people so much that their hearts were beating. Konoha's ninjas are proud to work in the Umbu. If they are kicked out without knowing why, it will definitely be a very embarrassing thing. So, the investigation mission was left unfinished. The third generation Hokage thought that the Umbu team had been dispatched, but the Umbu team did not dare to move because of Tsunade's order, so they could only remain in a stalemate. By the time the third generation Hokage reacted, 10 days and a half months had passed. If the head of the Hyuga clan had not come to the Hokage's office, the third generation Hokage would still be in the dark. The Umbu people did not take action. When he heard the news, the third Hokage almost choked. In the Hokage's office, the third Hokage's beard was shaking with anger. The Hyuga clan leader beside him looked very unhappy. For the third Hokage's matter, the clan sent a member of the main family and a branch family guard to the border camp, but there was no news after that. The branch family's guard was gone, but the key point was that the main family's people were gone too. The most annoying thing was that there was no movement in the Hokage's office. What's the matter? My Hyuga clan worked for you, the third Hokage, and even sent the main family's people. Now there is no news. I don't know if they are missing or dead. As a result, your Hokage's office didn't say anything. Is this reasonable? You disobeyed orders. The third Hokage was almost furious. He felt that his old face was directly lost. If he knew the news privately, he would not be so angry. The key point is that the Hyuga clan leader is also here. He also vowed that he had sent the Umbu to investigate. As a result, when the Umbu people were called over and asked, they found out that the Umbu had not been dispatched at all. His old face was swollen, the old face of the third Hokage was burning, and the ninjas of the Umbu were also aggrieved. They looked up at the expressionless Hyuga clan leader and whispered. Hokage, the Umbu naturally dare not disobey orders, but the minister said that the people of the Hyuga clan are missing, so let them investigate by themselves, and said that whoever dares to carry out this task will be kicked out of the Umbu. It's not that we disobey orders, but that we dare not. On one side is the Hokage, and on the other side is the minister. We are caught in the middle and it's so uncomfortable. Hyuga clan leader. The third Hokage. It turned out that it was not the Umbu who disobeyed orders, but Tsunade did not allow the Umbu to carry out this task. Whoever dared not to obey would be kicked out of the Umbu. The words are here, who the hell dares to carry out the mission? Because Jinyi was once treated coldly by the family, Tsunade really didn't have a good impression of the Hyuga clan, and the original words were also quite harsh. This is just nonsense. The third generation Hokage slammed the table angrily. I am the Hokage. Of course you are the Hokage, but we have a minister above the Umbu now. What can we do? If you are unhappy, go to the minister, but don't get angry at us. It's uncomfortable enough to be caught in the middle, and you have to be a punching bag. No one is happy. The people in the Umbu lowered their heads and didn't speak. He made up his mind to be a transparent person to avoid being angry for no reason. Besides, the minister was not wrong. If the people of the Hyuga clan were missing, let them investigate by themselves. Why mobilize the Umbu? During the war, the Umbu's tasks were already busy. Seeing that the other party chose to remain silent, the third generation Hokage he was so angry that he couldn't speak. He finally understood, the Umbu is no longer the Umbu of the past. Tsunade, the head of the department, is stuck above it. All tasks need to go through Tsunade. Once Tsunade is stuck, the Umbu people can't go out at will. This is so uncomfortable. The Hokage's direct troops cannot be mobilized by the Hokage himself. It happened that all this was caused by him. When he thought about making the Umbu like this in order to compensate Udatain Koharu, the third Hokage regretted it. if he had been more ruthless before and suppressed the noisy Udatain Koharu, he wouldn't have come to this point today. At this time, the third Hokage was stuck, and he was stuck. Forget it, you leave first. The third Hokage waved his hand, and the ninjas of the Umbu quickly evacuated. He didn't want to stay here for a second longer. It was too uncomfortable. After the Umbu people left, the Hyuga clan leader spoke. Hokage, you need to give an explanation to the family for this matter. Something happened to the main family, which has a great impact on the family. The Hyuga clan leader would not feel sorry for the death of a small team of the branch family, even if a group of people died, but it was different for the main family. There were only so many people in the main family, and the death of one of them would be painful. The most important thing was that the Byakugan was lost. Once the Byakugan was lost, the Hyuga clan leader thought of this consequence and was numb, so the third Hokage had to give him an explanation. After all, the Hyuga clan was helping him. I will give you an explanation, please give me some time. At this time, we have to find a way to appease the Hyuga clan leader. The Umbu is unreliable, so we can only mobilize other forces to investigate. In fact, the best way to deal with this matter is to directly order Nara Shikako to seal off the camp for investigation, but some things cannot be seen in the light, so they can only be investigated in secret. When the Umbu was unreliable, the third Hokage chose to use the power of the family. Mobilizing the family's ninjas to perform tasks requires taking certain risks and some troubles. The ninjas of the Umbu only care about whether the task can be completed, and don't care about the rest. This is something that the family ninjas can't compare with. Secondly, when the Umbu people go out to perform tasks, the people in the village need to cooperate, because this is the unique right of the Umbu. The Umbu has such a right, but the ninjas of the Sarutobi clan do not, so they can only think of other ways. Thinking of the difference, the third Hokage regretted it even more. Chapter 96. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The old man was very happy. There is no privilege. You Sarutobi Hiruzen are the biggest privilege in the village. The Hyuga clan leader knew very well that the third Hokage's instructions were just perfunctory, and he gave him some eye drops to let him put pressure on Tsunade. When hiring people, they promised all kinds of benefits, and when something went wrong, they started to perfunctory. The third Hokage really didn't want a perfunctory at the beginning, but the Hyuga clan leader would not think so. He would think that the third Hokage did it on purpose, because the Hyuga clan messed up. With a belly full of anger, the Hyuga clan leader left the Hokage's office expressionlessly. The third Hokage sighed. He couldn't understand why things were getting more and more complicated. The village just wanted some puppets and to master the core secrets of the puppets. The result was not as expected, but it became more and more tense. Looking up at the window, the third Hokage asked himself in his heart, am I wrong? No. I am not wrong, everything I did was for the village. Come on, please ask the two representatives of the elders to come over. Since we can't get what we want by following the Hyuga clan's path, we can only think of other ways. In the Hyuga clan's territory, in the main courtyard, there has been a big quarrel. How could Hokage do this? This is clearly a betrayal. Since Hyuga Shizuka is the most suspected person, he should be arrested and interrogated. Hyuga Seishi is a waste. He can't even control a person from the branch family. Several elders of the main family were so angry that they cursed. They felt that Hyuga Seishi had lost the face of the main family. As a member of the main family, he mastered the caged bird curse seal, but he couldn't even control a person from the branch family, and finally played himself to death. This is simply a shame. What made them even more angry was that Shizuka, a member of the branch family, dared to resist and killed people from the main family. This showed that he didn't take them and the Hyuga clan rules seriously at all. Of course, these elders of the main family could not accept the explanation and attitude of the third Hokage, because they thought it was a betrayal. Clan leader, I suggest that Hyuga Shizuka be arrested and interrogated. The honor and dignity of the main family must not be trampled on. Yes, we must also take back the Byakugan. We must never let the Byakugan get out. Several clan elders spoke one after another, and they were particularly excited, especially Hyuga Seishi's father. If a member of the main family died, the village could give enough compensation, and they would not be so angry. But the compensation given by the third Hokage to the Hyuga clan was almost like sending away beggars. The Hyuga clan was directly furious. Okay, this is how you play it, right? Do you really think that my Hyuga clan is made of mud? Okay, I will personally deal with this matter. Although the family has suffered heavy losses, it also allows us to see some people and some things clearly. The Hyuga clan leader's eyes slowly swept across the faces of each clan elder. Clan leader, are we just going to let it go? What else? Clan leader Hyuga asked expressionlessly, can you ask Hokage for an explanation? Or do you hope that this shameful thing will spread out and embarrass the family? Can you? Faced with clan leader Hyuga's question, the elders of the main family shut up, even Shingshire's father was no exception. Although he was sad that his son had lost him, this matter must not be spread out, otherwise the main family would lose face and might even cause a backlash from the branch family. It would be fine if it was embarrassing to the outside world, but the elders of the main family were most afraid that this matter would cause some people in the branch family to be restless. They were from the branch family, and so was Jinyi. Since Jinyi could kill the people of the main family, there was no reason why they couldn't. There were too many people who had grudges against the main family. Seeing that the elders were quiet, the Hyuga clan leader continued. Don't forget how deep the grievances and conflicts between the main family and the branch family are. Once someone starts to imitate, it will bring us endless troubles. Then how should this matter be handled? This is not okay, that is not okay, it is simply suffocating. Tomorrow. The Hyuga clan leader paused and said, I will go to the frontline camp in person to talk to Jinyi. I hope that Bai Yen will not be left outside. No matter what, it is the family's property, and this gap cannot be opened. Listening to the clan leader's words, the clan elders felt suffocated, because the clan leader did not go to Jinyi to cause trouble, but that I want to solve this matter peacefully and get the Byakugan back at the same time. It is unforgivable that the people of the branch family killed the people of the main family, but they dare not get angry or retaliate in a big way. This is so uncomfortable. Once Jinyi gets into trouble, Tsunade will be the first to trouble them, and even the third Hokage and his group will get involved. There are many people who want to step on the Hyuga clan, but they just haven't found the opportunity. The head of the Hyuga clan went to the frontline camp in person, which is not a trivial matter. The people of the Umbu reported the news to Tsunade and the third Hokage as soon as possible. In this regard, the third Hokage did not express anything, one after another. It is endless. Or do you really think that I have no temper? If it were before, Tsunade would definitely rush to the Hyuga clan as soon as possible, but at this time, there is no need to be so troublesome. Go and invite the elders of the Hyuga clan over, and tell them that there is a case that needs their cooperation in the investigation. The Hyuga clan has always been very disciplined and will not make trouble like the Uchiha clan, but the rules are relative, and the Umbu sealed several unsolved cases about the Hyuga clan. The source of the case is related to the contradictions and grievances between the main family and the branch family. Yes, Minister. After the order was issued, the ninjas of the Umbu took action immediately. Tsunade searched in the archives room and found the sealed files. Since you Hyuga clan can't hold it back, I will cool you down. Soon, the people of the Umbu sent the news to the Hyuga clan and told them that the elders of the family would go to the Umbu to cooperate with the investigation immediately. After that, the people of the Umbu left, but the Hyuga clan exploded. Send someone to notify the clan leader. Please return to the village immediately. As soon as the clan leader left, the Umbu came to find them and asked them to cooperate with the investigation. This was definitely not a coincidence, it was targeted. Then, less than 2 hours after leaving the village, the Hyuga clan leader was called back by the family's life-threatening series of calls. He had to come back. All the elders of the Hyuga clan, whether they were branch families or main families, were taken to the Umbu. The whole family was in chaos. As the clan leader, he dared to go to the frontline camp. Minister, the people have been brought back. Oh, just send them to the interrogation room. No need to interrogate, just lock them up. Tsunade, who was reading the documents, said without raising her head. Chapter 97. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The ninjas in the Umbu didn't know what their minister was going to do, but since the minister had spoken, they just followed his orders and didn't ask questions. So, amidst all the protests and dissatisfaction, the elders of the Hyuga clan were locked in the interrogation room. After returning to the village and the family quickly and understanding the cause and course of the incident, the head of the Hyuga clan began to appease the clan members, asking them to stay put and not to cause trouble or talk nonsense. As soon as he left, Tsunade took all the elders of the family to the Umbu. This was clearly aimed at them. Not to mention that the Hyuga clan has several unsolved cases in the Umbu. Even if there are no such cases, the Umbu said that they would investigate, and the Hyuga clan would have to accept the investigation obediently. This is the privilege of the Umbu, not to mention the Hyuga clan. Even if Tsunade investigated the Sarutobi clan, the Sarutobi clan would have to cooperate. When it was time to get off work, Tsunade did not go home directly, but came to the tavern where she had dinner with Orochimaru and others, and asked someone to notify the Hyuga clan leader and invite him to come over. After receiving the notice, the Hyuga clan leader's somewhat uneasy heart settled down. The fact that the Umbu arrested someone and invited him to dinner right after shows that the Umbu is not going to attack the Hyuga clan. The reason why Tsunade did this is to warn them. Please sit down. In the tavern, Tsunade sat on a chair with a big horse and a golden sword, holding a bottle of wine in her hand, and casually invited the Hyuga clan leader to sit down. The Hyuga clan leader calmly tidied his clothes and sat opposite Tsunade. Bang! After the other party sat down, Tsunade put the wine bottle heavily on the table. Logically, I should call you senior, but considering the cold treatment of Jinyi by the Hyuga clan, I don't want to call you senior. Tsunade-sama, family inheritance is above everything. Bullshit. Tsunade doesn't listen to these nonsense. Family inheritance is above everything. Only people from your Hyuga clan can say such words. Although other ninja families attach importance to inheritance, they are not like the Hyuga clan, which is almost pathological. Tsunade interrupted the Hyuga clan leader rudely and said angrily. I don't care whether your family heritage is high or not. The Senju clan in the past was higher than anyone else, but what about the Senju clan? This is the first time I look for you, and I hope it will be the last time. Stay away from Jinyi, otherwise I will let your family members settle in the Umbu in turn. Some cases may be ignored by the second grandfather and the old man for the sake of the overall situation, but I am not sure about my thoughts. If you are not convinced, you can go to the old man to complain. Tsunade does not want the Hyuga clan to continue to run to Jinyi to show off their presence, because she is not sure whether Jinyi will tear off the forehead protector on his head. Killing a few Hyuga clan members is nothing, even if one of them is from the main family, but if Jinyi tears off the forehead protector on his forehead, I am afraid that the entire Hyuga clan will be in turmoil and a major earthquake will break out. Now is not the time to show off, so Tsunade chooses to strike. First, it just so happened that she became the head of the Umbu, which provided her with convenience. The Umbu department has a low presence, but as long as it is used well, it is more intimidating than any other department. As long as the sealed files of the Umbu exist for one day, the Umbu can control the Hyuga clan for one day. The third Hokage does not want to tear his face with the Hyuga clan, but Tsunade does not care about these. You are so arrogant, and you still want me to be polite to you? My front teeth were knocked out. Grabbing the wine bottle on the table and taking a few sips of wine, Tsunade left with the wine bottle. She had to go back to make up lessons for Kushina. The Hyuga clan has been stirred into a mess. If it were not for the Hyuga clan leader sitting in the family to stabilize the situation, I am afraid it would have been in chaos long ago. The Hokage's office was not calm either. Koharu Yutane kept complaining, Hiruzen, you just watched Tsunade messing around. What did she want to do? All the elders of the Hyuga clan were invited to the Umbu and were locked up in the interrogation room. How dare you ask me? If it weren't for you making a fuss, would Tsunade become the head of the Umbu to compensate you? Now the Umbu is controlled by Tsunade, let alone you. Even I am afraid to do something. When the Umbu was in his hands, the third Hokage never felt this way. When the Umbu was divided, after going out and handing it over to Tsunade, the third Hokage realized that he had lost a lot of money. Don't say it, if it wasn't for compensating you, would it have come to this? Mizutaman quietly pulled Yutane Koharu's clothes, signaling her to shut up quickly and stop complaining. in order to prevent the old woman Utatane Koharu from getting too excited, Mtlnove and even interrupted the conversation. Hiruzen, Koharu's words are still somewhat reasonable. It's not good for Tsunade to bring people to the Umbu like this. After all, the Hyuga clan is not a small family. Once it gets serious, I'm afraid it will cause some trouble. The third Hokage lit a cigarette irritably and took 2 puffs. The Hyuga clan is a little greedy, and it's right to give them a beating. I believe Tsunade won't mess around. Anyway, the Hyuga clan has already offended them, so it's good to let Tsunade give them a beating. The third Hokage doesn't mind the Hyuga clan falling. As for the group of cowards of the Hyuga clan, they will only behave themselves after they have fallen. You can do whatever you want. Having said so much, the third Hokage waved his hand to the 2 of them, signaling them to leave. Stop bothering me about this matter. Utatane Koharu and Mtlnove came to the Hokage's office not to help the Hyuga clan to fight for justice, but because they were worried that they and the families behind them would become the second Hyuga clan. Both of them hoped that the third Hokage would impose some restrictions on the Umbu. The privilege of arresting people without approval is simply terrifying. I didn't think so before, but now I think about it and feel that it's a bit life-threatening. No one wants to be found by the Umbu without any reason, even if they are not afraid. What about the families behind them? The Umbu invites you to accept the investigation. Do you dare not go? Walking out of the Hokage office building, Mtlnove sighed helplessly. Koharu, the previous compensation was too bad. I didn't expect it to turn out like this. Utatane Koharu was a little unconvinced. It seems that it is not your right to cut, so you are not in a hurry. Forget it, let's leave it at that. Before the war is over, Hiruzen will not restrict the Umbu. The village needs stability. Mtlnove shook his head and said. Although Tsunade is domineering, she is also a reasonable person. If we don't take the initiative to provoke her, she will not take the initiative to trouble us. Koharu. Chapter 98. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Stopping, Mtlnove turned around and stared at her. I hope you can control your temper before the war ends. Tsunade is not our enemy. What about Hinata Shizuka? Being accused of having a bad temper, Koharu Utane's face gradually became ugly. Get up. You also voted in favor of the core secrets of puppets and puppet production. So what? Mtlnove said nonchalantly. Hiruzen is more anxious than us. If he really doesn't want to hand over the puppet and the puppet's core secrets, I think Hiruzen will take the initiative to persuade Tsunade to continue the cooperation. If the puppet's core secrets cannot be controlled, then we can always cooperate to make the puppet. Right? As I said, everything is for the village, why not take a step back? You are so good, Mtlnove. You usually look the most upright. I think you are the one with the darkest heart. But are you willing? What can we do if we are not willing? Mtlnove shook his head slightly. Hinata Shizuchi is unwilling to hand over the things, Tsunade is unwilling to cooperate. Can we still kill them and take the things away? Take it away. Don't be silly, Hinata Shizuka. You can covet his things, or even dig a hole to steal them, but you can't touch him, otherwise no one can bear the consequences. Keep a low profile recently to prevent Tsunade from targeting us. As for the puppet issue, let Hiruzen figure it out. After all, he is the Hokage, isn't he? Looking at Mito Kadoen's receding back, Tsunade Xiaochun wanted to spit at him, but after thinking carefully, it seemed that there was nothing wrong with what he said. Sarutobi Hiruzen was the Hokage. Even if he got what he wanted, the 2 of them would at most just drink some soup. It was still Sarutobi who dominated everything. Third Hokage, if that's the case, why bother standing in the front and attracting firepower? Tsunade has already taken action against the Hyuga clan. If she continues to force them, they might be targeted, so it is right to hand over the mess to the third Hokage. That night, several elders of the Hyuga clan were released, but those who left were elders from the branch families, and as for the elders from the main family, they were left as guests in the Umbu by Tsunade. Ha ha ha. Jing couldn't help laughing as she held the scroll sent by Tsunade. This is too funny. While the clan leader was away, they took the elders to the Umbu and locked them in the interrogation room, forcing the clan leader back to the village. I have to say, Tsunade's operation was really beautiful. Let me see, let me see. Jiraiya, who was lying on the side, felt itchy in his heart. He was eager to know what was written in the scroll that could make Jing smile like this. Let me see. Look, what the hell? Jingy slapped his hand away in anger. There are so many beds, but you have to squeeze in here. What's the matter? Is it more comfortable to lie in my lounge? He. Faced with Jingy's question, Jiraiya scratched his head and smiled foolishly. Hatake Sakumo, who was sitting next to him, coughed and turned around. After lying on the bed in the medical room for a while, the two hit it off and took advantage of Jingy entering the operating room to move the bed and stay there. In Jingy's lounge. My senior and I are here to relieve the pressure on the beds in the medical room. Hatake Sakumo is shy, but Jiraiya doesn't care about it. He still smiles even when he is scolded. Don't give me that. Jing, I don't believe his nonsense. If you come over here, I will believe it, but you moved all the beds away. How can this be convincing? When Jingy came out of the operating room and came back to rest, everyone was stunned. There were 2 more beds in the not-so-large rest room. Jiraiya and Hatake Sakumo were lying on one side, and they left a path for each of them. Tell me, why did you come to me? If you don't tell the truth, I'll have you move back. Jingy has no interest in living with 2 grown men, especially Jiraiya, a show-off. Living with him is simply a sin. Okay. Jiraiya said helplessly, those medical ladies are too enthusiastic, and my senior and I can't handle it. Hatake Sakumo covered his face in pain. Why did I believe Jiraiya's lies? It's up to you whether I believe it or not. Hatake Sakumo is popular. I believe that the ladies are very enthusiastic. As for you, Jiraiya, not being treated as a pervert is already a face for you, and welcome. There is no idea in my heart. Kicking the bed with his foot, Jingy said unhappily, okay, stop talking about this. I believe that Senior Sakumo can't stand it. As for you, Jiraiya, I think you are jealous, so you dragged Senior out with you. Don't say that I don't give you face. I don't like to squeeze with big men. You two move the beds outside. During the period of recuperation, you are allowed to eat with you. This is the bottom line, don't bargain. Interrupting Jiraiya, who raised his hand to quibble for himself, Jingy motioned him to get up quickly and move the bed out. The rest room was not big to begin with wooden beds, tables and chairs placed. Now there are 2 more beds, and it will soon become a big bunk bed. No problem. Jiraiya jumped up from the bed and happily moved the bed outside. While moving, he said to Hatake Sakumo. Senior, I'm right, Shizuka will definitely not drive us back. At most, he will drive us out of the rest room. Don't talk to me, I don't know anything. Hatake Sakumo moved things silently. After moving the bed outside, the 2 ran back to the rest room. Hatake Sakumo sat on a chair and drank tea. Jiraiya took out paper and pen and began to study his book again. Shizuka sat on the bed and looked at Hatake Sakumo, who was worried. Since returning to the camp for treatment, Hatake Sakumo has been in this state. He seems to have taken the responsibility for the destruction of the elite troops. He believes that it was his own command mistakes that led to the destruction of this elite force on the battlefield. Jiraiya saw that he was unhappy, so he dragged him to Jingy, not to mention coming here. He even moved the bed here. What kind of operation is this? Senior. Hatake Sakumo raised his head and showed an unnatural smile. Jiraiya put down the pen in his hand and scratched his head. He didn't know how to enlighten Hatake Sakumo. When he was in the ward, he had tried many times, but the effect was not good. Jingy organized his words and said, responsibility is something that cannot be escaped, but those sacrificed companions may not want to see the seniors get stuck in a dead end for this matter. I didn't evade my responsibility. Hatake Sakumo sighed. It was because he didn't choose to evade responsibility that he blamed himself so much. No, you have. Chapter 99. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The old man was so angry that he said, no, you did. Jinyi stared into his eyes. Did I evade my responsibility? Did I? Hatake Sakumo was stunned, and Jiraiya was a little confused. Senior, there is no war without death. From the day we became ninjas, we need to accept this reality. Jinyi raised his hand and patted Hatake Sakumo's shoulder. It's useless to get stuck in a rut. If you feel that you are wrong and the responsibility for the destruction of the elite troops lies on you, then you must cheer up, rest and heal your wounds. When you are well, kill all the people in the rock village. The companions have sacrificed, and we can't let the culprit live in peace, right? Yes. Jinyi, well said. Jiraiya clapped his hands vigorously and started to joke. Senior, think about it. If we die accidentally, how will we face those dead companions and teammates in the Pure Land? We didn't even help them to avenge. What a statement. Jiraiya couldn't help it and patted Jiraiya directly. If you can't talk, just shut up. I will try to cheer up. Hatake Sakumo smiled, with a bit of confusion in his eyes. I tried hard. You can handle this kind of thing by yourself in the future. Don't involve me. Jinyi gave Jiraiya a look that said I have tried my best. Hatake Sakumo is a person who likes to get stuck in a dead end. For such a person, persuasion can play a minimal role. Whether he can get out of it depends on him. Jiraiya has no choice, and Jiraiya is even more helpless. After lying together in the medical room for so long, he and Hatake Sakumo quickly became closer. It was out of concern for friends that he hoped that Hatake Sakumo could come out of it. Unfortunately, some things cannot be influenced by external forces. Once some people get stuck in a dead end, let alone persuasion, even if they get out of the dead end themselves, they may not be able to come out. Hatake Sakumo is such a person, and so is his son Hatake Kakashi. Fortunately, Hatake Kakashi is luckier than his father. He has the company of his teammates and the care of his teacher. The funny thing is that the little yellow-haired boy couldn't get Kakashi out of the dead end despite all his efforts, but Naruto and Sasuke did it. Jinyi, did you sign a summoning contract with the Slug Sage? Jiraiya came to Jinyi and kept asking about this matter. Jinyi replied, with my relationship with Tsunade and my identity as a medical ninja, it is normal for me to sign a contract with the Slug Sage. Are you planning to abandon the toads of Myaboku Mountain and switch to the Wetbone Forest? How is that possible? Jiraiya's voice suddenly became louder. There were slight footsteps at the door, and Orochimaru appeared at the door of the lounge. Walking into the lounge, Orochimaru smiled and nodded to Hatake Sakumo, and then sat down next to Jinyi after saying hello. Jiraiya seemed not to see Orochimaru, and said to himself, the Toad Sage of Myaboku Mountain is very good to me, and he also let me learn fairy arts. The biggest turning point for Jiraiya was that he was recognized by the Toads of Myaboku Mountain. He, who was originally the last among the three ninjas, gradually surpassed Tsunade and Orochimaru in strength, and became stronger and stronger as he grew older. Senjutsu? Orochimaru asked curiously, have you learned it? Jiraiya said frustratedly, this is a bit difficult, but I've been working hard. I just heard that the way of practicing Senjutsu in the Wetbone Forest is quite special, so I want to ask Jinyi. You can learn Senjutsu in the three holy places of Wetbone Forest, Myaboku Mountain, and Ryuchi Cave. Tsunade tried it in the Wetbone Forest, but she didn't have the talent. Jiraiya did have the talent, but it was average. As for Orochimaru, he didn't touch the Senjutsu in Ryuchi Cave at all, because he knew very well that the practice of Senjutsu in Ryuchi Cave was very dangerous. It's okay. Jiraiya thought about the process of learning Senjutsu and couldn't help complaining. Sage Slug said that I have a good talent, but I personally don't like the feeling of being sticky and wet all over. Fortunately, the slugs are very powerful and can help me absorb the unstable natural energy. Is there such a good thing? Jiraiya's eyes widened. Orochimaru was also surprised. Hatake Sakumo was confused. What are you three talking about? Immortal arts. What is natural energy? When practicing immortal arts in Myaboku Mountain, you need to apply a lot of disgusting toad oil on your body. The Ryuchi Cave is even more outrageous. They will directly inject you with snake venom. If you can practice successfully, it means you have talent, and if you fail, you will die. Is this a good thing? Jinyi thought of some not-so-wonderful processes, and his body shuddered subconsciously. He didn't want to experience that terrible feeling again in his life. Is it not? Jiraiya's cheeks were almost broken. Compared to applying toad oil on his body, he would rather accept slugs lying on him, even though slugs are mollusks and are wet with mucus. Jiraiya's reaction made Jinyi laugh. Since you're envious, why don't you just run to the wet bone forest? I can introduce you to the slug sage. By the way, the slug sage can detect whether a person has the talent to learn fairy arts. Really? Jiraiya was inexplicably moved. Even Orochimaru wanted to try it. He was really envious of the magic, but he didn't dare to try the magic of Ryuchi Cave easily. The slug sage of the wet bone forest and the toad of Myaboku Mountain taught you to learn magic seriously and took care of you all the way, but the snake of Ryuchi Cave, let alone taking care of you, just swallowed you up. Magic. You learned a shitty magic, just serve me as a snack. Of course. You wait a moment. By the way, senior, you come too. Jinyi had a sly smile in his eyes. How could he taste the terrible taste alone? It would be more interesting to drag more people into the water. Jinyi bit his finger, quickly formed a seal, and pressed his palm on the ground. Puff! A small slug appeared on the ground with a white smoke. Master Shizuchi, are you looking for me? The little slug was split from the slug sage, so his voice is as nice as the slug sage's. I want to bring a few friends to see the slug sage. Please take us there. Okay, Master Shizuchi. The little slug disappeared in the rest room. Shizuchi motioned Jiraiya, Orochimaru, and Hatake Tsukumo to come over. After the three of them came over, Shizuchi put his hand on them. Accompanied by a terrifying pull, the four disappeared in the rest room, arrived at the wet bone forest. Ouch! After a dizzy spell, they entered the wet bone forest. Before Jiraiya had time to observe his surroundings, he fell. Chapter 100. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The ground was covered with wet mucus, causing Jiraiya to fall, while Orochimaru and Hatake Tsukumo stood firmly. Seeing the huge slug sage, Orochimaru was prepared, while Hatake Tsukumo looked a little dazed. He had seen many summoning beasts, but this was the first time he had seen such a big one. Hello, slug sage. Jinyi raised his hand and greeted slug sage. Hello, little Jinyi. The slug sage's huge head lowered slightly, and the light around him dimmed directly, as if something had blocked the sky. It's so big, bigger than the toads in Myaboku Mountain. Jiraiya gestured subconsciously. There are many huge toads in Myaboku Mountain, but those toads are nothing compared to slug sage. Orochimaru also had this feeling. The snake in Ryuchi Cave was just a slightly larger snake in front of slug sage. After greeting, Jinyi explained his purpose. Slug sage, I would like to ask you to help them test whether they have the talent to learn fairy arts. The test process can be a little longer. Is there such a strange request? The honest slug sage thought that this was a request made by Orochimaru and others themselves. The test process is a little longer. Jiraiya and Hatake Tsukumo didn't react. Orochimaru's face changed. He felt that something bad was going to happen. The next second, the huge slug immortal lowered his head and swallowed the three people in one gulp. Jinyi had enjoyed the treatment before, and the three people followed suit, and the time was extended a lot. After all, this was the special request of the guests. As a slug immortal, it didn't know how to refuse others, so it could only meet the guests' requirements, a little longer. Ha ha ha. Watching the three people being swallowed by the slug immortal, Jinyi couldn't help laughing, holding his stomach and laughing out of breath. After a while, the slug immortal opened his mouth and spit out the three people. The three people covered with mucus slid down the ground like yo-yos, and didn't stop until they hit a big tree. Cough cough. The three people who stopped quickly got up, bent over and coughed, and a lot of mucus was sucked into their mouths. This would make people feel suffocated, and the mucus also had a special smell, which made people vomit. Ahem. Jinyi, you are so mean, ahem. It hurts so much, I won't try it again. Jiraiya almost vomited out the jaundice water. Hatake Tsukumo was not in any good condition, but Orochimaru was more patient and recovered after coughing for a while. Ha ha ha, isn't it interesting? Get lost, I won't believe you anymore. Jiraiya coughed so hard that tears came out. God, what kind of a damn detection method is this? The toads in Myaboku Mountain are not so excessive. Slug Sage looked at Hitaki Sakumo and said regretfully, I'm sorry, you don't have the talent to learn fairy arts. As for you, your talent is very average, I'm afraid you will learn fairy arts very slowly. Hitaki Sakumo has no talent, Jiraiya has average talent, and the process of learning fairy arts is destined to be long and difficult, and also very dangerous. As for you. The Slug Sage looked down at Orochimaru and recalled, I once smelled your scent on Tsunade, and you also have the smell of Ryuchidong. Orochimaru told the truth. I signed a spiritual contract with the 10,000 snakes of Ryuchidong. I see. The Slug Sage continued, you have a good talent, I think Ryuchidong's magic should be suitable for you. That my talent is good? Orochimaru was stunned for a moment and asked, can I learn the magic of the Wetbone Forest? I'm sorry. The Slug Sage shook his head and rejected Orochimaru. The three holy places have an agreement that people who sign a contract with each other cannot go to other holy places to learn magic. If you want to learn magic, you can only go to the big white snake. As for you, you'd better learn from the toads of Myaboku Mountain. The magic of Myaboku Mountain is very suitable for you. Okay. Jiraiya was not disappointed. After all, he was quite satisfied with Myaboku Mountain. The toads of Myaboku Mountain treated him well. Except for liking to give him insect feasts, everything else was good. Hitaki Sakumo helplessly cleaned the mucus on his body, and 4 people came over. 3 have the talent to learn fairy arts, but he doesn't. This makes Hitaki Sakumo, who grew up with the title of genius, feel uncomfortable. Can't we make an exception? Although Man Snake has helped Orochimaru a lot, Man Snake's temperament is too stubborn. In comparison, Orochimaru wants to learn a safe and guaranteed fairy art. Compared with Ryuchidong, the fairy arts in the Wetbone Forest are safer to learn. Okay, but it's not worth it. Slug Sage shook his head and said, you and Ryuchidong are more suitable, and I don't like the aura on you. The bosses of the 3 holy places are old monsters who have lived for who knows how many years. They can easily see through a person's quality. Orochimaru has a lot of problems and big personality flaws. This is what Slug Sage doesn't like. Orochimaru's face gradually became gloomy. He could accept Slug Sage's rejection of him, but the other party's words were too straightforward. Ahem. Jingy helped explain, Slug Sage has a straightforward personality and speaks in this way. He doesn't hide anything and will say whatever is in his mind. Yeah. Orochimaru nodded and accepted this statement. Unfortunately, the truth is more hurtful than lies in many cases. He, arrogant Orochimaru, you should go to Ryuchi Cave to learn fairy arts obediently. The snakes in Ryuchi Cave must like you because you also like to play with snakes. Jiraiya would definitely not miss a chance to laugh at Orochimaru. Slug Sage, please send us back. Jingy made this request decisively, because Orochimaru could no longer bear it. Under normal circumstances, facing Jiraiya's provocation and ridicule, Orochimaru would not take it seriously, but at this time, he had just been rejected twice by Slug Sage, and Slug Sage also bluntly said that he did not like Orochimaru. At this time, Orochimaru was at the critical point of breaking out. Jiraiya even jumped out to laugh at him, and it was hard for Orochimaru not to take action. Alas, as a man, you should be more cautious. Bang! Accompanied by a burst of white smoke, the 4 disappeared into the Wetbone Forest and returned to the camp. Back to the restroom, Jing-E took a moment to throw the 3 people out.